At that point, actually, we really wanted to die. We thought dying would be much simpler. It would be actually a gift, mercy. I was so desperate that I even called home and told them unless they heard my voice, not to pay a single cent, because I really thought that I wasn't going to make it.
Currently, there are hundreds of Africans who are being tortured for ransom in Egypt's Sinai. These Africans, primarily Christian Eritrean refugees, were kidnapped by the Rashaida tribe from Sudan, purchased by Egyptians, and resold to Bedouins in the northern Sinai. Shackled and continuously tortured in dozens of makeshift torture camps, they are forced to call their relatives to raise funds for Hamas armed smugglers. Those who are unable to come up with the ransom money are murdered. To date, the Egyptian government chooses to do nothing to stop these atrocities.
Hi, I'm a victim of human trafficking. I am Eritrean, and my story starts in 2012, March, when I decided to leave Eritrea because I couldn't continue to survive there. I fled the regime and went to Sudan and made it safely to the refugee camp called Shackled near Kassala. Unfortunately, a couple of weeks later, I was kidnapped along with 2 other refugees, Eritrean refugees, and were chained up and brought to North Sudan, where we were joined by other Eritreans and some Ethiopians. From there, we were piled up into Toyota Hilux and brought all the way to the border of Egypt. They used small boats to transport us all the way to a city called Aswan. And also from there, they used the same Toyota Hilux to transport us all the way to Sinai. It's there that I witnessed and experienced one of the most heinous crimes I can imagine against any human. They would make you take off your shirt, lie on the ground, and they would whip you using a whip till the torturer himself gets so tired he wouldn't be able to do it, and then he would be replaced by someone else. And another time they would make your hands lie flat, and then they can beat you with a stick or a whip, or it doesn't matter, any sort of tool. And sometimes they would melt plastic bottles and they would make it drip on your hands and on your back, or whichever part of your body that hurts the most. And of course, sometimes they would make you lay back on your back and hold your feet up so that they would beat the bottom of your foot, so it would be too hurt even to walk. And of course, their favorite was to use a chain that's already tied to both of your feet, and they would hang you up upside down from the ceiling. What finally stopped my hand, or really damaged my hand, was that they tied both my hands so tight and hang me up the ceiling for 3 days. At first, I could reach with the tip of my toes the surface, but when he saw this, one of the torturers came with a spade and he dug out the sand under my feet so that I would be dangling all the weight of my body with me on my hands. That's what finally damaged my hands. It cut off the blood flow to my hands, and without blood flow, any tissue dies. So it was there that flesh from my hands simply just started to drop off. I couldn't feel anything from here on. And by the time I got to the hospital in Israel, actually my fingers here were completely bone. I could actually see part of my skeleton. My vision was so poor, it came to the point that I couldn't differentiate whether it was day or night. And this kept going for 2 months, and I wasn't the only one. There were so many camps. I can understand Arabic, and from what they were saying, there were at least hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of refugees being held prisoners in those camps. It wasn't just money that drove these people to kidnap, torture, and inflict all these heinous acts against us. Some of them would even say that us just being Christians was a good reason enough to do all of these things, let alone getting the money. Some thought that was a bonus, some thought just they didn't even think about the money, they just wanted to inflict pain on us. And I was carried over the border by some other Eritreans and Sudanese refugees going the same way. And here, as soon as the Israeli soldiers saw my situation, they brought me to a hospital in Israel. My life was saved there. If I hadn't gone to the hospital, I wouldn't have lasted a week. I stayed there for a while, and I'm thankful that I managed to get in the hands of these doctors and nurses. They saved my life. And I urge anyone who could help or who could at least influence someone important to help out all these people that are being held in Sinai. It would really be appreciated. May God help you to do the right thing, because people need your help. People are still being tortured. People are still dying. I can still hear their screams. If someone could help now. It can never be too soon. Yeah, that's it.